I like to keep everybody guessing. And I never understood that. I still don't understand why food service does that. Even when I worked as a store manager of Subway, I never understood why that was a thing. I always scheduled it to where everybody worked the same hours pretty much every week, unless they needed a certain time frame off for like a doctor's appointment or something of that sort. It's pretty crazy. Everybody had their set schedule. That way they could plan outside of their schedule to get their personal things or keep their personal things in order. Once in a while, things got shifted around when somebody needed, specific time of day off or, say a dentist appointment or something like that. But it's not hard to schedule things that way. Almost 10 more seconds.
Cape Fibers. Low cash timer ball. Pokemon community game. Velocity is caught by Cape Fibers.
Well, I wasn't expecting to be the only one, but geez. Timer ball is all about the timing. You want to throw that in the last 10 seconds. Ad break. Oh boy. You did. I'm sorry. Ooh, Lordy be. I'm so relaxed and putting myself to sleep. I did get the last load of laundry out of the dryer this morning. Yeah, I meant to do it after stream yesterday, but I got into making the fajitas, and then after the fajitas, I came in here to work on that other chicken. Got the other chicken done, and started thinking about how I needed to continue to do the black and white one. Did a sample, didn't like how that sample looked, so yeah, refigured it out again. Finished figuring it out this morning, so maybe that's gonna be am I on another decrease row? Decreased here. 2. No, we need one more row. Welcome back from ads. So I think I have the black and white one figured out. I just need to knit the second half of the tail left-handed instead of right-handed to get the second half of the tail to face the correct way. Took a bit of finagling to figure it all out. But I'm like, well, in theory, if I knit it left-handed instead of right-handed, it should come out the opposite of right-handed, so it should work. Because I tried just purling right-handed instead of knitting right-handed, but the problem with that is somehow I have a tendency to knit more loosely when I'm purling than when I'm knitting. I know this is a thing. I guess I need more practice at it. Dang, no one's perfect. There's always something. Okay, that finishes the underbelly. Need to pull some yarn out. Hopefully we can pull enough out without having way too much to also not only sew all the way around the underbelly, but have enough to also, look, I still have leftover yarn. Ugh, goodness. Mandela, the never-ending cake of yarn. So we can pull this out. It's longer than my arm length. Okay, so I'm done with this needle. Done with that one. Thread our needle. And I'm going to flip the chicken over and start at this end of the tail. Go through the end here. And start seaming from here to there. Oops, I didn't go through the end correctly. Oopsies. Went through the wrong side of that tail, so it's not going to match up very well. Needed to go into that one there. There's a difference. And I'm just whip stitching, just a basic whip. Nothing special. I do it tight enough so fiber fill won't come flying out of it. chicken done. Almost done. Whoop whoop. Looks like the yarn is coming untwisting and put more twist in it. Bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, Microcryza, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Fiber family. Glad to have you. I'm trying to cover all the emotes. Emote explosion. Welcome, welcome. I do need to work on emotes or get help working on emotes. I think Apocalypse was helping me with that at one point. Haven't seen Apocalypse around for a while. Oops, okay. Tail yarn is poking through. Let's give it more space then.
Thanks for following.
I don't know why I am getting a double notification of that. One from Elements, one from Twitch maybe? I don't know. I'll have to check into that. Should not be happening, but it keeps happening. I'm just going to make sure that tail end is tucked under for that tip. Oops. Tip to this side. I'll go through that one more time just to make sure that end is really secure, because there's 3 coming into that point, so I like to make sure I catch that really good. And now we'll go down this side all the way down to that end. It's okay. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's alright. I don't think I have anything pressing for this evening, so I could stream later. Problem is, I would get hungry because I'm already due in 4 hours. So the only way I could stream longer would be if I took a hefty break, and you have a tendency to lose people when you take a bigger break. I have no idea what I'm doing for dinner this evening. We did fajitas yesterday. You're a little early on the timer ball, Knitter Girl. Wait till the timer gets to like 1340 and then throw the timer ball. You have a better chances of catching if you wait till like the last 10 or 15 seconds to throw the timer ball.
Go cash timer ball. Mirror stepper. It's okay however you want to continue or end the stream.
Yeah. I mean, if we were just gonna order something for dinner instead of making something for dinner.
Pokemon community game.
But that's more expensive, so it'd be better if I just make something. Like maybe we'll find the spiral thing and do some spiral zucchini and have zucchini spaghetti. That could be an option for this evening, but it takes time. It takes time to spiral the zucchini. Provided the tool is big enough for the zucchini I have. Some of the zucchini, oh my gosh, zucchini that sister-in-law gave me are just humongous. Okay, now when I get to the very end of this tail, the end of the bottom piece, I'm going to go through that twice. Then I'm also going to go through this and that side once more. And then I'm going to join that side and this side together. And I'm going to go ahead and join the end of this together. Just a few little moves there to there. I'll stop there. That gives us a little lip right here. And then we'll grab fiberfill and we're going to start stuffing. I like to pull apart the fill to make sure it's nice, light and floofy. And I like to go to the beak first and then work my way through the body. So get the hand in there, make sure I'm filling in that beak and the top of the head. Get enough fill between the eyes. Can go into the neck. There we go. More. Need more. I don't like to leave it lumpy clumpy like this. I like to floof it. Floof it just like if I were getting ready to card fiber. I like to floof it. That way too, like the one I was using as a pillow, it wound up getting flat. This one, no, not that one. This one here, I was using as a pillow. So after I've slept on it for, 4 to 6 hours, because I didn't get my 8 hours of sleep, the pillow would be flat. So the poor chicken was flat. But I can take the sides and pull on that fiber fill and refloof it so it becomes more floofy like a pillow. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. That's why I like to do that. Nice floofy hens. Or roosters. Most of these have the combs of a hen though. That's why I've been keep calling them hens. I don't want to put so much fiber fill in it that it's like rock hard. No, emotional support chickens, they need to be floofy, they need to feel floofy. So I'm just kind of pulling it apart and then putting it in there. Floof it. Floof it some more. Okay. Now I'm tucking some into this tail area here. And I need to push it down in. Can go ahead and do that seam. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Now when I get down to their inner crook of this tail, oh my gosh, into this tail, I will put 2 stitches here as well, because that could be a potential weak point. Even if I go down in a little bit and come back up and through, it's gonna really secure that inner part. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go down this end of the tail, the next tail fin. What do you call that? Tail? Oh, mail person did stop at the box. There must be junk mail. Because according to the email, there wasn't anything that was going to be in our box. So what they send in email is not what actually happens. I think our post office has been not wanting to deliver the Amazon packages, so they've rebelled. So instead of my package coming in the couple days it was supposed to come, it came like 4 days later. And it was brought by an Amazon carrier and not USPS. So I'm going to floof a little bit more here to stick in this part of the tail. Now we can push that down in and seam this up. We're almost done, y'all. We're gonna get back to that black and white chicken and pretty sure. This inner portion, I'm gonna make sure that I do a couple stitches. I'm gonna go up this last part, tail fin. I don't know, is it a tail fin or just tail feather? I don't know if hubby saw. Okay. He said he saw. Since this is a smaller opening, we need to be a little more careful about how we push that floof in. But I still want to get enough in there. I feel an empty spot right there, so I'm kind of pushing it farther down in. Is that enough, or do I need a little more right there? Can we floof this out? Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, we'll finish it off. Everybody's least favorite part, sewing. Sometimes I don't mind. Like now I don't mind because it's the end of the project. There's nothing else left to do. I'm gonna make a quick knot there on the end, and then I'm gonna take the needle, poke it down in and through the entire body, come out on the chest. And then I can snip it off. And then when I pull the rest of this, it disappeared out the chest. There you go. Another chicken done. Whoop whoop. Chicken number 11 is finished. Here's that 12, 11. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Boop boop. Mostly gray. Tail feathers have a little red in it. All gray on the side and maroon red and touch of pink. It's kind of a pinkish color there on the top. But yeah, turned out good. Turned out good. I like it. I like you. The green eyes, I think the green eyes were perfect for this one. The green eyes were perfect. Alright, we're going to let this one sit here. And we're going to knit on the black and white one. And this one will be a bit more of a challenge, because I need to do the second half of the tail. Let me put those down here. I need to do the second half of this tail more left-handed, because I didn't want this side to show, because this has